To chapter 19 from verse 3. Please follow the reading carefully. Matthew 19:3, and we're going to read to verse 7. The Pharisees also came unto him, tempting him, and saying unto him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? Next verse. And he answered and said unto them, Have you not read that he which made them at the beginning made them male and female? Next verse. And said, For this cause shall a man leave father and mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Next verse. Wherefore, they are no more twain but one flesh. What therefore God hath joined together, let no man put asunder. Next verse. They say unto him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and to put her away? If God's plan was no divorce, Moses is a prophet of God. Why did Moses permit divorce? Is there a contradiction between God and Moses? Moses say hate. God say love and hate not. God say no divorce. Moses say divorce. Is there a contradiction? They were asking Jesus. So Jesus moves to Genesis chapter 2, which is older than Moses. Because Moses was born in Exodus chapter 2. So Jesus went to Genesis chapter 2. And they said, Why? Look at verse 8. He saith unto them, Moses. Now stop. Look at me. He saith unto them, Moses. Pause there. Pause there. I'm coming back. In other words, Jesus quotes Genesis chapter 2. What God has joined together, so shall a man leave father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they two shall be one flesh. They are quoting Deuteronomy 24 verse 1. Jesus is quoting Genesis chapter 2. Jesus is quoting Genesis 2. They are quoting Deuteronomy 24 verse 1. And oftentimes that happens in Bible study. Listen carefully, everybody. You forget that you don't jump to Deuteronomy without reading Numbers. You don't read Numbers without reading Leviticus. You don't read Leviticus without reading Exodus. You don't read Exodus without reading Genesis. The books of the Bible are such arranged so that you read them in their sequence. You don't go to Deuteronomy if you have not read Genesis, because you'll be confused. Something happened in Numbers that made a reason for a second law. The second law was Deuteronomy. There was Exodus, Leviticus, then something went wrong in Numbers. And because of what happened in Numbers, another law was given in Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy is the book of the second law. Now, wait. Numbers has Leviticus, and Leviticus has Exodus. Exodus has Genesis. Before Genesis 3, we have said there is Genesis 2. And before Genesis 2, we have said there is Genesis 1. You don't read Genesis 3 before you read Genesis 1. You read 1. You read 2 to understand 3. There's a sequence of thoughts. And there's a sequence of understanding. So, observe. You read the Bible into each order. Before you get to Genesis 12, where God called Abraham to make a people for him. We have Genesis 11, where people built a tower to make a name for themselves. Before Genesis 12, where God called Abraham to make a nation for him. You have Genesis 11, where they built a tower to make a name for themselves. So you see that one issue corrects the other. So you must read the scriptures intelligently. Don't pick Deuteronomy without reading Numbers. They wanted Deuteronomy 24. Jesus said, no, don't be smart. Let's start from Genesis 2. We can't hang ourselves in Deuteronomy 24. Let's go to the very foundation, Genesis chapter 2. Like the devil quoted Psalm 91. He said to Jesus, it is written, he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways, lest you dash your foot against a stone. That is Psalm 91. Then Jesus said to the devil, before Psalm 91, there was Deuteronomy chapter 6, which says, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. You should have read that first to know that you shouldn't quote for me Psalm 91. Because you can't be quoting Psalm 91 when you have not understood Deuteronomy chapter 6. There's a sequence of thoughts in scripture. Which means Jesus has asked us to read scriptures contextually. He read it systematically. Don't start from Deuteronomy, start from Genesis. Something happened in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, before what was said was said. Moses said, you can put away your wife. Jesus said, yes. Why did Moses say that in Deuteronomy? Look at Matthew 19:8. See Jesus' response. Matthew 19 verse 8. Matthew 9. Okay, 19 verse 8. He saith unto them, Moses, because in view of sclerocardian, Moses, in view of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning, Genesis chapter 2, it was not so. So Deuteronomy, where Moses permitted you to put away your wives, was not God. Moses only granted you your heart's desire. God said, don't put away. Moses saw that whether he permitted you or not, you will still put away your wife. So he brought protocol. Moses gave you a protocol that you will use in putting away your wife decently. Whether he gave you the law or not, you will have done it because your heart is hardened. Moses only gave you an organized way of doing it.